Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the German Tier 9 Premium Medium tank, the T55a. Now this is a tank that we earned a while ago in one of the season passes, and it's a pretty nice tank. Its only real problem is the fact that the T54 exists in its fairly newly buffed state. Because realistically this would have been the T54 but with 220 pen instead of 201. And it would have been slightly slower for having that extra pen and slightly worse hull armour. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have meant that much realistically to the way it played, because it would have played exactly the same. It's just that you could pen more with the standard rounds, but you still had the ridiculously high 340 heat pen, which really comes in handy. But its big problem is the T54 exists, and the T54 in its buffed state, with its absolutely worldy of a gun, better gun depression, better armour, better everything, just means that this tank did get left behind by those buffs that the T54 received quite a little bit. But that doesn't mean it's a bad tank by any means. That just means the T54 is more crazy than it used to be. And I really enjoyed the T55a. It's been a lot of fun to play for me, personally. And I've had quite a blast playing it, to be honest. I've had some pretty nice games. And it's been nice to play sort of the T54 again, because I 3-modded the T54 a while ago. And I've never really had a reason to play it since, because while it's a very, very good tank, and the same as this is a nice tank, I'm not the biggest fan of the Russian mediums in general. I don't particularly play them all that often. I prefer to have sort of higher alpha, less... Yeah, I prefer the less DPM, higher alpha, 10 degrees of gun depression type of tanks, say like a Centurion 7-1, than playing, you know, the less gun depression, but way higher DPM. Pretty much, they are better tanks. But that's just my playstyle. But it doesn't mean I don't enjoy playing them. It just means I'll take out the other tanks more often. And this T55a, yeah, it's a lot of fun to play. So, what do I run in terms of a crew on this tank? I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Run and Gun, Steady Aim, Track Mechanic, Camouflage Expertise, and Muffled Shot. Now, I run the camo perks because the camo on this tank is pretty damn nice. And the gun handling is really nice as well, but you just make, obviously you always want to make your accuracy 10% better on the move and 10% better in general on a medium tank, because that just is so useful to you as a medium tank in general. And having the better camo is also great, because it's already got fantastic camo, especially when you run the setup that I've got, which is Rammer, Camo Net and Optics. And that way you can stay hidden, you can use bushes more often, you can be stealthy and get the shots out without getting spotted that you want. You can get good damage out. So, in this first game, we have managed to take a great position up on Kaunas, up in that D5 position. We got some great shots at people crossing. We've managed to do 4.3k damage, 939 assistance so far, and now we're going to try and get up behind this T28 prototype. And sod's law, that timing was impeccable. Just as we went for the shot at the back of the T28, we end up hitting our friendly Sheridan, which was, yeah, that's just unlucky. That timing was just one of those things. It happens. It's actually unbelievable how often that sort of thing happens, where you think, yes, I can get the shot, and then just as you pull the trigger, someone out of the blue drives directly in front and takes the shot. Obviously, then they don't mean to block the shot, and you don't realise that they're actually crossing your line of sight. It just happens. It's just one of those weird things, isn't it, that just happens every now and then. And unfortunately, we didn't get the shot into that T28. But now, we've got this SU-130PM in front of us. And I could load HE for him, but I'm kind of hesitant because of the TD that's around the corner, which is the Jagdpanzer. And I know that that could come round, and I want the AP round for it. We managed to side scrape and block a shot from the SU-130PM, get another shot into his roof deck, which is going to happen because this gun is absolutely amazing. And now the Jagdpanzer's coming for us, and I think, you know what, I could pen the Jagdpanzer, but I'm just going to track him in place and see if we can get a load of assistance. We did get a little bit, and now we track him in place again, and we're just getting all of his assistance, and we pump up our assistance to 2,000. I just didn't want to get penned by that. Jagdpanzer was like, no, 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 you know, and stopped him. And we finished that game with 3 kills, 5.3k damage, 2k assistance, ace tanker, high caliber, the 1991 base experience. Yeah, 7.3k combined, which is a really nice total for a tier 9 tank. And like I say, realistically, this tank is just a worse T54. And to be honest, I think they overbuffed the T54. Personally, I think what they did to the T54 was just way too much. And realistically, if they'd just given it the changes that basically the T55a has, which is like 220 pen, I think it's fairly similar to what PC gave theirs, their T55 on T54 as well, then it would have been fine. And I think the T55a, with the way it handles with its gun, proves that it would have been probably alright with the pen it had. So we're on the second game. And we're on Pilsen. And it's like, well, okay, I'm going to go to this position here. It is team destruction. I'm going to go to this position here and see if we can catch anyone that decides to try and cross this B line. We managed to get a nice shot into the Indian Panzer. Now a mutant's coming over and it's like, hello, Mr. Mutant. How's it going? I've got a shot into his cupola here and it goes in. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure how often this shot is actually going to go in because that guy did get a buffed cupola. And as you see, we ricochet there. The mutant cupola used to be really easy, but it's going to be a little bit more tricky these days to pen with my AP rounds. If I was to load heat right here, I would be going through these guys every single time nearly. Because the heat rounds are just that good. I would probably be going through it. At the minute, I'm just cheaping out. I shouldn't be cheaping out. We'd be able to get through this situation a lot faster if I wasn't. But we're making the most of it. We get another shot into the cupola, that mutant. It does go in. We aim for the back end of the concept. Again, if we'd been loaded heat, we could have gone through his angled front quite easily, but we're cheaping out, and we were never actually going to pen him with AP either, to be honest, so I don't know why we bothered, unless he was flat on, that is. And unfortunately, the gun, even though it's accurate, is letting us down a little bit with some of these shots derping. We get a nice shot into the side of the Indian Panzer. This is where if we just had that little bit more gun depression, it would be a little bit less awkward to fight this position, but it is what it is. We're keeping this pretty good DPM working. We're keeping this gun working, and unfortunately again we just sort of missed that shot and I don't know where it went. 0.3 accuracy or whatever it is, 0.33, it's a really accurate gun, but it's just going, ha lol, I don't want to hit that. Luckily enough, the Indian Panzer drives out sideways on and it's like, well, okay then, Mr. Indian Panzer, I will put you out of your misery. Get 2 nice shots into him. The T43 is firing heat from the derp gun. He is not a threat because he just won't pen us. If he was firing the HE, he probably would have been doing about 100 damage to us, but unfortunately for him, he's not doing that. And now we've got the concept and the M103 in front of us. Now, the M103 did get a buff to its turret, which makes it really good, but it still does have a cupola when it's not on a ridgeline, and we can pen it. But unfortunately, we're ricocheting because we're not quite hitting the cupola, we're just hitting the top of the turret. And the shots are missing right now. Now, I'm talking about an extremely trustworthy gun. This gun has been beautiful for me most games I've played it. So far in this game, it's just like, you know what? I'm just not going to hit these easy shots for you. These people are sitting stationary. These are easy pens for me, really. But I'm just not going to I'm just not going to do it because RNG says no. You know, it's one of those games. But the M103 we got rid of him. Now we've got this Concept 1B in front of us. We bounce our last shell of AP off of his turret. We've got heat in. We're aiming for that little cupola on top, which, when they're on flat, is pretty... Well, it's not easy to pen, but it's fairly pennable. And now he's dead here. We get a shot into his lower plate, and we finish him off. Up to 4.6k damage. There's just the artillery over there, and the enemy team that has marauded on this flank where our cap is. Or should I say where our spawn is, since it is team destruction. We get a nice shot on the move into the Kampfpanzer. Like I said, we do only have heat rounds left, which is good because that means we're going to pen everything, but it's also could be bad because, well, it's heat rounds, and sometimes they can just get absorbed by spaced armor because lol. But we have 9 shells left, and we have 2 fairly healthy tanks in front of us. So we're coming into this Kampfpanzer. We get a nice shot into his side. We are full health, so I do not care about bleeding health to this guy now. I know that I can kill him in 2, 3, 4 shots. We get another shot into him there. We're just going to make sure that this shell's fully aimed. Get another shot into his side, and now we can go to finish him off. Now, we've got the heat rounds in, so I don't have to worry about him getting close to huggers. Finish off the Kampfpanzer, and now there's just the Centurion 7-1. We're going to help out this STRV to shut him down. And we just about have the DPM to out-reload the STRV to shut down that Centurion 7-1. Now we've got the 1390. We get a nice shot into his back. And it's like, please, I want the kill. And then we end up hitting the gun because we auto-aimed. We shouldn't have auto-aimed. We should have just fired, but I was too confident there of killing him. But it is what it is. We still managed to shut him down anyway, because the SU-130PM actually did exactly the same thing and shot his gun as well. And we finished with the epic victory, the 7 kills, 7.5k damage, 2.1k base XP, 2,000 blocked, like I say, the 7 kills, Ace Tanker, Devastator, High Caliber, Top Gun, and yeah, 2.1k base. A really nice game for the T55a. And it's a tank that I have really enjoyed since I earned it. It's really good. Its only problem is the T54 exists, right? But it is what it is. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!